Good morning everyone. Today's topic of discussion is regeneration therapy. Okay, this is the last topic in stem cell chapter. So regeneration therapy, it is a method of treating the disease with the help of biological agent, and regenerative medicine, that is a field of science aimed at repairing the diseased organ or tissue by using biological agent instead of using any artificial method or any chemicals such as drugs to treat the disease. We can use these days, because of the advancement in biology, we can use some of the biological agents to treat the disease. So that particular field of science is called as the regenerative medicine. In some of the universities there is a course itself, it is there, wherein you will be studying in detail about the applications of regenerative medicine. Okay, so now the topic what we are going to discuss today is the regeneration therapy. In human, lost organs are not regenerated usually. So whenever we have some organ failure or some damage happens to the organ, that will not be regenerated. Okay, so the ability to regenerate the damaged organ constitute a medical revolution. So because of the advancement in medicine, it is possible to regenerate the damaged organ. So that is considered as a medical revolution. And now the researchers are going on to activate many developmental programs to regenerate the damaged organs. Now one of the method what we are going to discuss today is the bone regeneration. Bone regeneration can be used in the case of bone fracture and also in the case of osteoporosis. Okay, so now the fractured bone, it can be healed. Okay, but the bone cells in adult do not regrow to bridge the gap. Okay, the process of bone formation is called as osteogenesis, or also called as ossification. You must have heard about the osteogenesis. Whenever your bone become old, the old bones will be eaten up by a type of cells called as the osteoclast. So we have two types of cells. One is called as osteoclast, another one is known as the osteoblast. Okay, osteoclast are the cells which will be eating the old or damaged bone, and the new bone will be deposited with the help of the osteoblast. So this process is called as the bone resorption. So this is a very important term to remember under this topic, bone resorption, wherein old or damaged bone will be eaten up by a type of cells called as osteoclast. Okay, these are a kind of macrophages. They will eat up all the damaged or old bones, and once it is done, the new bone will be deposited by the osteoblast. Osteoblasts are nothing but the stem cells which are there in the bone. Okay, this process is called as the osteogenesis, or also called as ossification. Okay, now what are the steps involved in the ossification? Usually whenever your bone development happens, there are different factors which are involved in activation of the bone morphogenesis or bone formation. The proteins are BMP. BMP stands for bone morphogenetic proteins. Okay, BMP protein that plays a major role in the development of the bone. Now during the development of the bone, there will be a committed cartilage will be there. Committed cartilages, they are the cells which are scattered. Okay, so this endochondral ossification or osteogenesis is one of the essential process during the fetal development and mammalian skeleton system by which bone tissues are created. During the formation of the bone, the cells which are committed to become cartilage, okay, that is a flexible connective tissue, they aggregate together and it forms a compact nodule. What is the first step? The cells which are committed to become cartilage, that is your mesenchymal stem cell, they are a flexible connective tissue. They aggregate together and it forms a compact nodule. Now once the compact nodules are formed, they undergo differentiation. Okay, they undergo differentiation into two different regions. Cells will accumulate. The center portion is known as the hypertrophic chondrocytes. Hypertrophic chondrocytes. And on both the sides there will be compact nodules, the proliferating chondrocytes will be there, and they will expand and finally a bone will be formed, and after the bone development there will be blood vessel formation. So within the bone, once the bone is formed, within that stem cells will be there. Those stem cells are called as the osteoblast. Once again I'll tell you, the cells which are committed to become bone, they are called as committed cartilage, which are developed from the mesenchymal stem cell. They undergo differentiation. They are actually scattered, a flexible connective tissue. They aggregate together and it forms a compact nodule. Once the compact nodule is formed, the cells will distribute evenly. Some of the cells will aggregate in the center portion, that is called as the hypertrophic chondrocytes, and the cells which undergoes proliferation, they will be there on both the side. Okay, and this differentiation happens and finally bone development happens. Once the bone is developed, there will be blood vessel formation. So this is mediated by bone morphogenetic protein or BMP, and also there are different factors which are involved. One is called as the VEGF, VEGF. VEGF stands for vascular endothelial growth factor. This will help in the formation of the blood vessels. Vascular endothelial growth factor will help in the formation of blood vessel in the bone. Okay, so this all you have to remember. You would have studied in another paper also about this VEGF. VEGF is the one which will help in the formation of blood vessels. Now we are going to see how we can use this bone regeneration therapy to regenerate the damaged bone. Okay, so the process is this particular method is used for treating osteoporosis. What is osteoporosis? When the body loses too much of bone, that condition is called as the osteoporosis. Meaning bone will be weak, brittle. Okay, in osteoporosis patient, the bone will be very brittle and weak. A very mild fall or stress, even a bending, when they bend or cough, sometimes when they cough or sneeze also, there is a chance of bone getting broken. So that is the worst part in the osteoporosis. The cause of this osteoporosis is there are different factors are there. One is hormonal variation, especially in women. It will be seen after the menopause. Age is a factor, and also calcium. If the calcium level is very less, that can lead to osteoporosis. Okay, so when you observe the bone under microscope, you can see a honeycomb-like structure. In the case of osteoporosis patient, the gap which is there in the honeycomb-like structure, that will be huge. So if the gap is huge, you can say that they are suffering from osteoporosis. Okay, they will have a decrease in bone strength, and the bone will be very brittle, and thereby they will have frequent fractures. So we can treat it with the help of this regeneration therapy, wherein they are using a hormone called as parathyroid hormone. So I have given in the diagram. You can see here the parathyroid hormone. Wherever the bone regeneration is needed, there you need to incorporate the parathyroid hormone with the help of some vectors. So you know the stem cells are there. We have the osteoblast stem cells are there. You can modify or you can do the genetically modify that particular stem cell and incorporate the stem cell into the bone. Okay, so parathyroid hormone, when you introduce into the stem cell will be able to secrete the parathyroid hormone. So this parathyroid hormone is needed for the ossification or osteogenesis process. What is ossification or osteogenesis process? The damaged or old bone will be eaten up by the osteoclast and new bone will be developed by the osteoblast. So this particular process of ossification or osteogenesis, it need parathyroid hormone. So whenever the parathyroid hormone level is very less, there is a chance of osteoporosis. So if you introduce parathyroid hormone, the chance of bone regeneration is very high. So for that purpose, you have to genetically modify the stem cell with the parathyroid hormone. That will activate the osteoblast. In the bone, I told you already, there are stem cells which are called as the osteoblast. Now whenever you introduce this parathyroid hormone, osteoblast gets activated. Activated osteoblast is indicated with this line. So this line indicates that they are active. So they get activated, and once after activation, the osteoblast will express a receptor on the surface. Those receptors are called as the RANKL, R-A-N-K-L. rank L or rank ligand is a receptor that will be expressed on the osteoblast. And that is one function of this parathyroid hormone, that will activate the expression of rank L receptor on the osteoblast and also inhibit the expression of another receptor called as osteoprotegrin. Osteoprotegrin is the receptor which will inhibit the ossification process. So what is ossification? The formation of bone, that is called as the ossification. This osteoprotegrin that will inhibit the osteogenesis process. So usually in the case of osteoporosis patient, there will be expression of this osteoprotegrin receptor, thereby the ossification process won't be happening. Now we can activate the ossification or osteogenesis process by activating the osteoblast. Osteoblast will express a rank L receptor, and also the parathyroid hormone will inhibit the expression of osteoprotegrin. What is osteoprotegrin? These are the receptors which will inhibit the ossification process. So parathyroid hormone will suppress the expression of this one, whereas it will activate the expression of the rank L. So that is one function of the parathyroid hormone. Now parathyroid hormone will also activate the expression of a receptor on the osteoclast. Now you have to remember very thoroughly about the difference between osteoblast and the osteoclast. What is osteoclast? Osteoclasts are the one which will eat the bone. Old or damaged bone will be eaten up by the osteoclast, whereas new bone will be formed with the help of osteoblast. Clear? There is no confusion in that, right? Now, the osteoclast will express a receptor called as the rank. What is the receptor which expresses on the osteoblast? Rank L. Now, the rank L and rank will get connected. They are like the lock and key model mechanism will happen. They interact together, which will activate the bone resorption. So both the cells will get the signal once after the binding. Osteoclast will start eating the damaged bone, and the osteoblast, which you have activated with the help of this parathyroid hormone, they will deposit the new bone. So this is a method of regeneration of damaged bone in the case of osteoporosis, and also you can use this for treating the fractures. Okay. Now another method wherein the regeneration therapy which is used by Peng and colleagues, they did a process wherein they genetically modified, GM stands for genetically modified stem cells, they introduced into the wounded site. Okay, in the wounded site there will be a damage will be there in the bone. Okay, if there is a damage in the bone, that damaged bone can be regenerated with the help of a genetically modified stem cell. The stem cell will have two extra genes which can produce the two different types of proteins. One is BMP. BMP I told you already. What is BMP? Bone morphogenic protein. And another one is the VEGF. VEGF stands for vascular endothelial growth factor. Vascular endothelial growth factor is needed for the regeneration of the blood vessel in the wounded site. BMP is needed if any damage is there in the bone. So if you incorporate a stem cell in the highly wounded areas will be there, which will take a long time for the healing. In that place, if you introduce an ointment, there are different types of medicines are available with this biological agent. Ointments are available. In that ointment, genetically modified stem cells will be there. Those stem cells, when you apply in that wounded area, the stem cells will start secreting the bone morphogenic protein and VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. These two together will activate the wound healing process. So this was introduced by Peng and colleague, and the introduction of the parathyroid hormone for bone regeneration in the case of fracture and osteoporosis, that was done by Bonadio and colleagues in 1999. First they did this one in a dog and found that it was working properly. Then now this day they started for the for human trial also. So the osteoporosis can be treated easily with the help of this regeneration therapy. So in the examination, if they ask regeneration therapy, you need to write what is regeneration therapy, what is regenerative medicine, and what do you mean by bone. Usually in the case of bone regeneration, this particular method is used. You have to write about the ossification or osteogenesis process, what I have explained in the beginning, and then you can talk about the bone regeneration in osteoporosis. What is that process? They use a genetically modified osteoblast, or the stem cells will be used, which will have the parathyroid hormone. So when you introduce a genetically modified stem cell, or osteoblast or any other stem cell with the parathyroid hormone to the damaged area, they will start secreting the parathyroid hormone. Those parathyroid hormone will activate the osteoblasts which are there in the body. Osteoblast will get activated. Activation of osteoblast means what? They will express rank L receptor, and parathyroid hormone will inhibit the expression of another receptor called as the osteoprotein, which will inhibit the ossification or osteogenesis process. So when this process is inhibited completely, the osteogenesis process gets activated. Now rank L receptor appear on the osteoblast, and also parathyroid hormone will activate the expression of another receptor on the osteoclast, that is rank. Osteoclast will start eating the damaged bone, and osteoblast will deposit the bone there, and it will activate the ossification or osteogenesis process. And the continuous process that happens in the body, like removing the old bone and the regeneration of the new bone, that process is called as the bone resorption. So this two, expression of the rank L on the osteoblast and expression of rank on the osteoclast, will help in the bone resorption process. So another method is for the wound healing, you can create an ointment kind of medicine with genetically modified stem cell, which can secrete bone morphogenic protein and the vascular endothelial growth factor. So that's all about the regeneration therapy. Please go through this topic, and if any doubts are there, you can ask me. Thank you.